always have to find the villain. There has to be a villain. Always have to find the villain. There has to be a villain. Always have to find the villain. There has to be a villain. Always have to find the villain. There has to be a villain. Or Federal Reserve notes was instituted, and then of course we called them dollars. And the late Louis T. McFadden, once described the Federal Reserve bank system as the greatest fraud known in the history of mankind. He said, rose in his house one day, in the fall of the Senate, and he said, there's not a man in this house within the sound of my voice who does not know that the Federal Reserve bank system is the most corrupt financial institution in the history of the world. And I think that puts us in very good perspective. So, to get back to your question, we could not have gone into World War II, let alone all the wars that followed, if it were not that we have government people in America, not only in America, but all over the world. So, and that's how we're able to find a consumer government.
Well, if he told us to we're not going to be able to get the money, so he rushed the Federal Reserve Act. And not only that, slavery, in my opinion, was never abolished, it was transformed. And in this case, with the Federal Income Tax Act, that's how they were able to get us to pay for the war. And that way, we just got into it as slaves.
That's right. That's exactly right. You know, the war between the states, also known as the Civil War, was not fought over slavery at all. It was fought over economic issues. The United States was producing all the income revenue for the country, but was shipping the cotton out of the port in New York, and of course the money was coming in and going into the banks in New York, and the southern states were getting none of it. And so they went to war with the North to make this situation better, that they would get the equal amount of say it was due, what was due to them. And we know the outcome of that war, terrible loss of life, the whole of the South totally destroyed, the North remained virtually unscathed, because its industries were heavy industries, they were not based on any cotton or anything of that nature, and their workforce had remained undiluted. In other words, they did not have too many Negro slaves in the North. So those few that were there were actually owned by the people in high positions. Mrs. Lincoln, for instance, owned several Negro slaves. I think it was General Ulysses Grant owned about 200 of them. But it was not the massive slavery that was so prevalent in the South.
And please allow me to read this excerpt from your book, because I think it's very important. Quote, Tavistock has the majority of the American people profiled and brainwashed. If any part of the American public's ever able to identify the cause of the crisis, that have washed over this nation in the past 70 years, the social engineering structure built by Tavistock will come crashing down. But that has not happened yet. Tavistock continues to drown the American public in his sea of created public opinion, unquote. And I've lost count, Dr. Coleman, on how many times I talk about similar subjects, whether 9/11 or our election process being rigged. And most people say to me, well, Mel, why would they do that? They don't believe you. You're a conspiracy theorist, you're subversive, you're agitating. The mere fact that they say that proves that the plan is working, isn't it?
Absolutely, of course it's working. That's the proof of the whole thing. When you get called those names, it's exactly proof that they are working.
Now, how do you reverse that? How can you wake people up?
Individuals can do that. I don't think the individual has any power to reverse.
Is a computer science specialist turned yoga adept who was born in Macedonia but now calls Australia home. Pane Andov decided to make a change and a difference in people's lives by starting up a monthly magazine called The Sixth Sense. He covered subjects that happened to be I have to read it all again. Pane decided to make a change and a difference in people's lives by starting up a monthly magazine called The Sixth Sense. He covered subjects that happened to be dear to the hearts of Nexus readers, which include ancient civilizations, top-secret projects, hidden agendas of the elite, the esoteric arts, UFO phenomena, and ET influences in humanity's progress and more. As a teenager, Pane found that the secrets of yoga and Buddhism came naturally to him, and so he underwent rigorous training. His capabilities went through the cosmic roof, and soon he was communicating with the hierarchy of ET intelligences and getting very interesting and specific messages about our past and about our possible futures. He also began to understand that humanity has been the subject of some kind of huge experiment involving several ET races. Pane is convinced that we are going through the end of a great cycle that will culminate in December 2012. The signs are already with us, he says, and he has a few examples to prove it. Time is short, and we need to recognise what's coming if we're going to head it off at the pass, if not neutralise it, he says. So we're very fortunate to have Pane here to give us his big picture vision on assembling all these different pieces of the cosmic puzzle. Please give a big warm Nexus Conference welcome to Pane Andov.
Thank you so much, Duncan. I really appreciate it. It's really great to be here among you wonderful people and a part of this magnificent event with Duncan behind the steering wheel. So the subject of today's talk is going to be cosmic coincidences and expectations for 2012 and consciousness rising as we approach the end of the great cycle. So just a few words about myself. In the last 20 years I've been instructor in fields of progressive meditation, remote viewing, astral projection, Kundalini yoga and many other disciplines. I had thousands of students worldwide, which I developed a special relationship and make a seed for further growth and development. Back in 2008 I was organizer of the global healing meditations that took place worldwide, where thousands of people were meditating in the same time, projecting their thoughts and energy in order to heal our planet and to rise the vibrational level. I'm also a contactee from the age of 7, and those contacts are still ongoing. Back in 1995, 1996, I was informed that there will be an extraordinary cosmic event in 2012, but deliberately in 2008, by direct extraterrestrial guidance via holographic projections, I was shown what it will take place with the planet Earth and what kind of implications this cosmic event will have on us. So, if it's okay, I would start. So just a simple formality. This talk is information purposes only. I will not be held responsible for action taken as a result of the information that you are going to receive today. Thank you. So here we are, Monday 25th of July 2011, only 512 days until the end of the mile-long count calendar, or until the position of the planets in our solar system come into this formation, right, on December 23rd, 2012. That's where I expect that something magnificent is going to arrive from the galactic core, something known as a superwave or a nexus, a wave of energy that was released by a powerful explosion in the center of the Milky Way galaxy a long time ago. So I will be talking about crop circles because many of my contacts are with the genuine crop circle makers and what they are referring about the cycle. And also I will be covering what humanity has to do in order to pass the requirements. And I will be talking about the sun. Most of the ancient knowledge had reference towards the sun and the cycles of the sun. So at the moment scientists had discovered that there are new particles never seen before emitted from the sun. They're capable of mutating matter, and in our biological bodies we have 8 radioactive elements, and every time there is a crack in the magnetosphere, this mutation or radiation, how should I put it, is even bigger. So also I will be talking about objects that were spotted very close to our solar system. Some people call it Planet X, some people call it Nibiru, Second Sun, Brown Dwarf, and a few other names. So I will be sharing my perspective about what this object is, how far it is, and what kind of implications it will have on our world. But the main focus will be what we as humans can achieve by uniting our thoughts and energy and feelings and just rise the vibrational level, and we can do only by the higher consciousness. And finally, I will be showing you something that Jonathan can't explain profoundly, what extraterrestrials are referring that we as individuals have to do, and also on the planetary scale, some force field that needs to be created by special type of meditation. So before we go into the 2012 event, I will shortly like to share my story, how my contacts began with extraterrestrials. So I will take you back in time. I became one with this biological body around 38 years ago, and my basic purpose of coming here on this planet was to help the consciousness transition and to make this cycle a success. So the first time that I was taken was in my own country, in Macedonia, which is in Balkan region. And with this arrow you can see here, that's where my house was. I have an older brother who is 14 years older than me, and at the time he was taking me a lot very close to a river nearby, and he was very, very skilled into the martial arts. And his moves were quite impressive, and I enjoyed him moving in that speed and creating all these movements, right? So this is the place. This is the place where it happened the first time. So the image is a little bit new. 30 years ago, it was not that light. It was more darker place. And one evening, interesting thing happened. Very close to a new moon, I started to spot a big ball of fire. It was yellow, red, it was changing also color, sometimes more into pink and with the green on the periphery. And it came natural to me to ask my brother how come there can be 2 moons. After I didn't go through any response, after a few seconds I by default look at him, and he was directly staring into this object that we are seeing. And this is the type of craft that is often recorded all around the world. And the next thing that took place, there was a flash, a white flash. Nothing was visible except whiteness. I didn't know what to make of it. I got a little bit scared and uncomfortable.